Hi, everybody. I'm Tamara's owner.
And I'm John Davis.
Welcome to Spirit Cafe.
Come in, sit down, and
grab a cup of love.
A Spirituality Without the Guilt podcast. Hey, guys, it's John Davis, and I am here today with two lovely people. Of course, the lovely co-host in bringing love to the world, Tamara's owner, is here with us. So hello, Tamara. How are you?
Hi, John. I'm great. I'm loving these new introductions and the variety of them. Thank you for thinking about love instead of crying.
Oh, I like cohort and crime myself, but that's okay. All right. I'll bow to your.
I don't know.
Desires.
Maybe it's because my sister's a cop. I'm like, let's keep that out of here. Not doing anything bad, Jen.
That you know of.
I know of her that she knows of.
Yes. Anyway. So Tamara, I go out, as you know, and you go out. We both go out hunting for people to come onto our show, and I always judge every person I try to bring on from what I feel about them when I see them. I get that gut feeling, and I saw this beautiful person on her channel, the Celtic Tarot-Sheila, and I was like, oh, I like her sparkle in her eye, and she's a very smiley person. And then I started watching her channel. I was like, well, she's actually pretty darn good at what she does too. So I was really excited to bring her on. And I know you've had no chance to check out what she does, so you'll get a chance to experience her live, as it were. So I would like to go ahead and bring her in, if that's okay with you.
That is great with me. I'm super excited to meet Sheila.
All right. Well, hello, Sheila. How are you today?
I am doing well. Thank you so much for inviting me. I feel like this is going to be a great time. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we always have a great time. We laugh, we joke, and we, especially when we bring on people, we always try to make sure that they have a good time as well. So why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are and how you came to do what you do?
Oh goodness. Well, I grew up in an environment in my family that I had my abilities were screaming at me, right? And so I kind of knew there was something different there. I was the 6 out of 7 children. So I had to, fight my way through almost everything. And then I became a mom at an early age and then married and all of that good stuff. But I, with my third to the oldest sister, did tarot cards and stuff like that. And so I buddied up with her quite often, and I knew that I felt very connected to that sort of thing. However, I was also raised in a religious body, so I was really conflicted. And so I was taught how not to be who I am, and then knew who I was. So I had that going on. Anyhow, fast forward a little bit, my children are grown and I have grandchildren, and I finally had like this time to myself. I had lost my husband about 10 years ago. And so I was really, really like by myself. And I thought to myself, why don't I just go back to the roots, go back to who I am? And I had a few people tell me that, especially my spiritual advisors who I talk to often, like, Sheila, stop forgetting who you are. And I'm like, do you know? You know what I mean? And then they started helping me out with that, right? I had to do a whole bunch of internal work, and I had to, get down to the work that we do have provided in this metaphysical life, getting your chakras clean, going through and your dark side of your soul, this, that, and the other, right? And getting that all done, coming to a point where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to be who I am. And then all of a sudden I wake up in the middle of the night and Spirit's going, you're going to do that on YouTube. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Right. And so, and this is like in the middle of Trump era, right? And so, because I was getting so angry with all of that stuff, and so and here I am again and again and again, and I gathered everything. I made my space beautiful. I mean, I gathered everything, and I was still not doing anything. And finally, one day, I just woke up in the middle of a sweat. I'm like, fine, I'll do it. You know how we are. Yeah. We have to be, and so finally that one day, that the very next day, I just made a video and I posted it, and Spirit took it from there and guided a few mistakes along the way, a few lessons, of course, is how we do it. And I'm still open for lessons. I just tell Spirit, can we have them a little less, a little gentler? I don't have to have them so rough anymore. I'm grown. And so as I get through that, so anyways, and so here I am, and I get to be invited to do these sort of things, which I'm very, very grateful for. So thank you so much.
Well, what a very familiar story. I am number 6 of 7 children. My mom had her master's degree in liturgy, so I had the very Catholic upbringing, and then I was having a big spiritual experience all along. So I get that as well. So I think it's a beautiful story in the fact that you did come back to find yourself, and you did come back to go, you go through that struggle. And yes, Spirit sometimes will, as Tamara and I like to say, smack you upside the head with a cosmic 2x4, right?
And you need it. Yeah.
and let's face it, that is Tamara's sole purpose in my life. to smack me upside my head with a cosmic 2x4 now and again.
Just the messenger, John.
Yeah. With a 2x4.
We've learned to put the message there and then fly away quick.
Right. That's why we keep it virtual.
Go.
We're keeping it virtual.
Not real. Virtual.
Yes.
Oh, that's so funny. So Tamara, what questions do you have for our lovely guest?
Ooh, I love to know, what's your favorite thing to do? Like when you're sharing your work in the world, what is the thing that you love the most about what you do and how you do it?
I've grown to love my remote viewing the most at this point in time. I've done a lot of things. I've done palmistry. I do pendulum, I do tarot cards, I do muscle testing, all of these things, right? And all through every single one of those steps and everything that I've learned through all of that, remote viewing has always been there. Now, I just recently, because it used to be like a download and I couldn't figure out what it was, and it would hijack me on a regular basis. And I'm just now learning how to hone in on that. But remote viewing has been, I think, the dearest thing to my heart. And if anybody that doesn't know remote viewing, it is where I'm in the Akashic records on a regular basis, and I'm asking questions from Spirit, and Spirit's literally talking to me and showing me pictures, not literally talking to me, but I get it more like pictures and impressions on things and through colors and stuff like that. And it's like a movie that I can tell, and especially with things that are going to happen to somebody or something along that lines. And that's been my, how can I put this? When you do something, it's like the right thing to do. That type of feeling with my remote viewing. It is like everything else is special and great and wonderful, and I do well at them. But when I remote view, I'm like, I am right there, right there.
Right.
So, and that's where a lot of my healing also comes through, is my remote viewing. So
that's interesting. So you've been able to take remote viewing and not just be as a visual of someplace far off or across time or space, but you've been able to take remote viewing and turn it into a healing modality.
Yes, I can do it with a healing for me as well. Here's what I've learned. I cannot remote view very well if I'm out there lying, cheating, and running amok. Right. And so the more healing that I get, the more healing is provided to me through the remote viewing, if that makes sense.
Right. And when you do a remote viewing as do you do it as a reading as well?
I do. And I am, as you all know, I am a political reader here on YouTube, and I can do remote viewing for the political, things. And all of that, but I can also do it, like via, if somebody wants me to do it for them or what have you. Was that the question?
That's really interesting, because it's like, we did an episode on remote viewing a while back, and to me, remote viewing was always like seeing someplace far off or someplace across time or space, but I never had a chance to think about it as how to use it as a reading or modality for someone other than being able to experience the place. I remember Tamara actually did her first remote viewing on the show
Mhm.
and had no idea what she was saying. And it was
I didn't
very
even know
funny.
what the show was about when we started it.
Right. And what was really interesting was she pegged something and I was like, well, that's not there. And then like get off thinking, oh my God, yeah, it is. She actually said, and there's a circus tent.
Mhm.
And I had forgotten that right behind the trees of where I was camping at that spot that you were seeing was a circus tent that was filled with where the elephants lived for the elephant rides at the Renaissance Festival that I was working at. And so she spotted the circus tent, and I totally was blanking on the fact that there was actually a circus tent there because I just thought of that as elephant camp. But yeah, there was an actual circus tent there. But yeah, I find it interesting that you use that in an actual reading format. Do you use remote viewing to help someone get past something, or I mean, how does that work?
Can absolutely, I can do that. Now her remote viewing is if you can think about it, somebody hovering over places and things like that and just reading the landscape, right?
Yes.
Right.
And which is brilliant. My remote viewing has a lot to do with telling me a story through a spiritual experience.
Okay. All right. Makes sense.
So I know that I could, if I really concentrated. I have Gemini, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and all three of my planets are in Gemini. I'm in the air a lot. Okay. It takes me a long time to come back down to earth. And so I tend to stay up here with the remote viewing. Those who can now, Whimsy, I don't know if you know Whimsy or not, you should have her on. She's wonderful. She does remote viewing where she also does that as well, where she goes in and she quiets herself and she can go into the situation and go look. So those are, as it was just the kind of the difference between, I think, her remote viewing and my remote viewing.
Right.
Now I can use it as I've done it many a times to help somebody heal, because they would ask me, what is my problem? Why can't I get past that? And I can close my eyes and go into the Akashic records and pull down the spiritual tailored thing that you've done for your life. I'm like, well, you got off track here, and there's a little bit of over here that you have that needs to be cleaned up, and this problem that you've had, for like 20 years ago is still affecting your life, and this is the reason why you're having a hard time. Those type of things that I can do those readings for people to heal. I'm a natural healer, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure. And I think anytime you can go back and tap into the events and experiences that gave a belief, you will definitely heal that issue, because the belief is what's creating, in my mind. Tamara, do you have anything else on this?
No, I'm just listening, fascinated, and
well, I actually would like to have that done for me, if that's okay with the two of you. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Do you need it like now, or like when you want to make an appointment?
Whatever is easiest for you.
I can definitely try to get a question going on. I mean,
sure.
That's what
sure. Okay. All right.
If that's
so
what you want to do.
You want me to ask you a question? Is that the way this works?
Yeah, you can ask me a question. We'll see if it works.
Okay. So
I've never done a reading with somebody live with somebody, so just giving you that.
That's okay. That's okay. It's just
we told you we just fly by the seat of our pants.
We fly by the seat. Okay.
I'm up for it.
I love
okay.
That.
So okay, here's the question I have. So a couple months ago, I came back out with my spiritual work at the insistence of my friend with a cosmic 2x4. And my other channel has exploded, and I would just like to know where that work is going.
Yeah, the work. Well, this is really nice because I'm going in blind, because I had no idea you had another channel. So this is the best. This is where I do my best work, is going in blind. Because then I know whatever I get is definitely from spirit. So
right.
Let me take a deep breath.
Take your time.
And what is exactly the question you want to know? Where your other channel is going?
Yeah.
Or what's up?
Is it going to expand? Is it going to reach the people that it needs to reach?
Well, the first thing I felt was, and I saw, was color, and the first color was blue. So blue is that tranquil, that love, that going through, You ever had somebody, the police officers, they have blue and red, right? The blue, red, blue, red, blue, red. The blue is an alert, red is danger. So you have an alert. So there's something in your thing is an alert. So let me see what that's about. It's tranquil, but it's calming. Okay. Channel. So the first thing that I see is, after I get past the blue color, is that for some reason somebody else is watching it. There's somebody that is watching it. Like, if I had to put a label on it, like a celebrity or some sort of celebrity of some sort is watching you, and really is intrigued and really like it. And the reason why I say that, because I see a picture of somebody sipping from a golden coffee cup and watching your video. So this is somebody who is important, is watching your video. That's important. They may have already contacted you, or they have contacted you through, and like they've commented through I don't know, it's not a fake YouTube channel, but like somebody you wouldn't know who it was.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But they're watching you, so that's enjoyable. That's fun. I see after you get through the blue, I see a lot of gold around you. And gold can mean a lot of things. Gold can also mean like money and wealth and things like that. But gold is also grounding, also very taking care of itself. Like you spend a dime here and you get $1 back. So I don't know what that is. You may understand what that means, whatever you're providing.
Yeah, I do. I get that.
So I'm not getting, how can I put this? Sometimes I just want them to tell me in English.
I get that. I get that. Oh my gosh, I get that.
So here's the thing about the duality. There's something duality going on here, and for you will have to give up something in order to nurture one. It's like it's telling me you won't be able to nurture both at some point in time, because it shows me a plant. One gets a lot of water and sunshine, the other one is wilting and going away. So that is a message from spirit. At some point in time, either these two channels or something else in your life, that you may understand that something else has to die, go away, be of completion in order for something else to flourish. And this is where you have your attachment to this portion over here is going to hurt you, but spirit wants you to know that it's okay. It's not like a devastating hurt that's going to make you to be held in the future. It's like telling you, this is your opportunity to exercise what you have been saying and preaching. Let go. And this is where your opportunity, because there's some reason at some point in time, and now I'm going a little bit into who you are in your life. Is that okay?
Oh, dig in, baby, dig in.
Okay, there's some point in time in your life. Okay, so everybody has tragedies. This doesn't, you don't need a psychic, somebody that you have tragedies and things that go on in your life, but you have truly have been through something where you know that you have a problem with letting go. You know that you create attachments, and they're not just attachments. They're like, you ever tried to take a candy away from a baby attachment, and this is like whoosh. And you have known this about yourself, and spirit has given you lots and lots and lots of things in order to pry open those hands to teach you how to let go. And this over here, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it's definitely going to be one of those teachings where you just have to just let it go and understand that this is a completion, not a loss. And that's where spirit is really wanting to help you with that. Now, the reason why your other channel or in this channel are going, the other one is being watched by somebody important or of anyways, we already talked about that. Anyway, these two here is one of them is going to it's showing me platforms. You ever seen those little things with Law and Order where it goes like this, with what are they called?
The scales.
Thank you. When I'm up there, I forget all kinds of adjectives, or nouns. So the scales, like one goes up, one goes down, one goes up, one goes down, and then it just kind of goes like this with that. So I don't know if you're going to merge. That might be a possibility where these two merge. So
interesting.
So I hope that helps.
Oh, that was awesome.
Is there anything that I got right? You
got pretty much everything right. And you spot on. And it's funny. For the longest time, I was a very, very successful motivational speaker, corporate motivational speaker, and I was doing very well, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, doing all kinds of stuff. And that is going away right now. And I haven't gotten rid of the website, and I haven't gotten rid of the stuff, and and it still says Corporate Action Hero, and there's still a Corporate Action Hero YouTube channel up, and there's still and I don't do anything with any of it. It's going down, just like you said.
Okay.
And my spiritual work is where I am now in everything I do, and my entire being is about my spiritual work right now. And so you're absolutely spot on. And I get contacted by people all the time on my YouTube channel who will not give me who they are, and their comment is like an initial D, or so it could totally be, for all I know, Oprah Winfrey could be watching my show.
Correct.
And
it is a gentleman. It is a gentleman who is doing it. I felt that so very much with it, that it's a gentleman that's watching you and is a fan.
Oh, well, good. Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. That was awesome. That was really amazing. I was. There's a couple of things that I'll say. Well, first of all, you were spot on all the way through everything. You said.
Thank you.
Second of all,
scary to do live.
Second of all, I love the speed of it, because it was obviously coming from source. You were obviously just saying what you were hearing, and that to me is a sign of a really good reader. And someone who's really connected. And as we were going through the process, I was feeling the truth of it. So I mean, it was really spot on. Tamara, what did you see it from the outside?
Well, because I know you, I was also feeling the truth of it, and was thinking to myself, "You're still hanging on to that? I thought we talked about it."
Where's that 2x4? Where's that 2x4? Coming.
We don't do 2x4s anymore.
Fluffy feather, don't worry.
Exactly. We got feathers. We got other tools now.
That's why I'm bald, Sheila. She smacked all the hair off the top of my head.
Bald when we met. Yeah, so that was so interesting to literally watch you work, and really I feel you kind of go in, and up and out, and whatever you would describe that as. But that was really, really neat to see. And then to know John's story, right, and to hear you getting it right, that was super cool. Because so many times, I mean, we've had readers on, they'll say things and it's like, yeah, that could be true, but I don't know. I tend to find that I don't know if I'm a hard one to read or what, but it's always a little foggy, I feel like, except for that numerologist who was like amazing. She did a private reading for me, and I was like mouth open the whole entire time. So but that was super cool. So did you go into his Akashic records there, or what was the process?
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm there constantly. And it's hard to explain to people, like, yes, I can still draw, I can still be down here and doing stuff like that, but I'm literally up there constantly. Okay. And I think it just takes me all of, like, as soon as I ask, it is given. I don't know how else to kind of explain it. Yeah. Well,
that's what was promised, right?
Yeah,
ask it is given, right?
Yeah, and and I have also done a thing where back in the day somebody had told me about protection, like, oh, you got protection. Like, I've asked for protection. I don't think I've ever rescinded that question. That question, that I've never rescinded, like, okay, I'm protected. I've never said, no, never mind, don't protect me on Tuesdays, I'll be okay on Tuesdays. I am protected 100% of the time. And I think that also keeps me in a place of words. I like a permanent connection, I guess is what I can say, is, like, I don't unplug.
Yeah, that's so interesting, because recently we spoke to someone who's like, no, I turn it off. And then if I'm working, but when I'm not, it's off. And so how did you get to that point where you could feel safe staying open?
Well, I think there's a difference between open and being connected. I'm not open for danger. I'm not open for, anything. I'm not open to lies, deceit. I'm not open for that. But I am connected, and I'm permanent. And the reason why I was like, I want to be, if I'm supposed to be connected, am I allowed to be permanently connected? I'm just like this toddler. Can I just be permanently there? And there I'm like, yeah, why can't you? There was no boundaries when I started going into my spiritual work. I'm permanently protected from here on out. Nobody's allowed to read on me unless I give them permission. If you read on me without my permission, you're only achieving a mirror image of you, right? So, there's all these things that I am like, I can, it's almost like sitting next, cross-legged in front of an angel going, really? I can do that? You know what I mean?
I am fascinated by something you just said, because it's an experience that I've been having. People, because of my spiritual leanings, and if you go to the John of New channel, you can see what that's all about. But I get people all the time who want to read me without my permission. Yeah. And what I find interesting is it's always them reading themselves mirrored back. And it's really interesting to me is that not only is it them mirroring it back, but they usually get pretty nasty reading on themselves. They're
only because their motivation of reading on you may not be pure.
Right.
If I want to read on you because I want to get to know you so I can manipulate you, is a whole different aspect. If I want to read on you to heal you. Right. And I truly believe on that. And just like all of the readers, all the people that I read on politically, they're public figures. I can read on their public. They've already given permission publicly to be in their public role, but to go into their private stuff, I find that a little. I don't. I'm not going into the bedroom. Sorry, what I mean. I'm not going in. but they've also given permission to read their public life.
You can't unforget that, can you?
Exactly. I'm like, that was not me. I didn't do it. I don't want it.
That's so interesting. Yeah. So typically you read for someone remotely and you do it without them on with you.
Well, no, I do. People can book with me.
Okay.
And so when they book with me, I offer them whatever it is that you want me. I have all of these things, whatever tools, and then they get to choose and see. Now, a lot of times when I'm one-on-one with somebody, with knowing that there's not an audience or anything like that, when I'm doing their cards, information just drops in and I just tell them whatever is coming in automatically. So it's almost like a card reading / remote view reading with them. And then if they have any people and I also do, people who are deceased, if they have a message for them, that's new to me, really. But if they have a message for them or something along that lines, I'm also able to hand that over as well. So. Right.
Okay, so all the things. And when you do a card reading, since tarot's in your name, right? Yes. What's your spread? Like, do you do brief ones? Can they get like a three card read? Like, just tell me what it is. Like, get straight to the point.
So let's do one. So do you have a question? Like, do you have a question? I'll show you how I do it. So do you have a question for me?
Oh, that's my question. Do you always have to have a question, or can you just ask for the message that we most need to hear?
Absolutely. I often do that because a lot of people can kind of get on there. They have the three things: finances, money, and am I going to find somebody to love me?
Right.
However, go through that. But no, I can do a general.
Yeah.
And my cards will do is they'll give me a little bit of a backstory of something that you, like I'm a natural healer. So I'll always pick up on something that you need to be healed from or how to get past. So that's what they'll do. And then going forward and that. So, but I can do a general reading with you if that's what you're
I love that.
know the audience or whoever's watching. I know nothing about Tamara. I don't know her birthday. I don't know anything. And I don't want to, because I truly want that information to come through spirit. I always said that my knowledge messes me up a lot. Right into my ego.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Not that being educated with the metaphysical is wrong. It's just that for this girl, it's tough. Keeps on coming a card that keeps on flipping over. This twice it has done that. It must be the representation of something that you're going through. And it's defending yourself and trying to create boundaries. And so the challenges of creating boundaries or defending yourself is something that you are struggling with, and that kind of represents who you are at this moment in time. So let's go through. High Priestess, somebody that has power over you, somebody that has a little bit of you have a little bit of trust issues with this person. You want to release that baggage. Like I said, my cards give me a backstory. So this is just a backstory. This could have been 20 years ago or yesterday. But the waters of travel, like you got to get away from them. It's time to go. It's time to kind of, that's what your mind is. How do I get out of this? And this right here, it's maybe an addiction. It may be something along that lines that was just an incredibly unhealthy, sometimes scary situation. That's exactly what happened to me. It just said to me a scary message, scary situation, free. So the reason why it's telling me this is just what you're dealing with, but you're going to be free if you're not already. That free person, the wind in your hair, things are going to be free for you. You're going to discover who you are. But you have to be really careful about the fantasies that you provide with this last one. It's almost like you know that there's trash at the bottom of that barrel, but isn't that barrel beautiful? Right? That's kind of what I'm feeling with that. You're going to have to be very, very, very cautious of those fantasies that come around that. Believe the truth and not what you wanted it to be. And then you have the king of wands, which is that this is you, that born leader, that visionary. And this is where spirit, this is the slot where spirit is. Spirit says, remember who you are. Remember that you are a born leader, that you have something to offer, that somebody else's opinion about you is only based on a fraction of information of who you are. So they cannot ever come up with a true opinion about yourself. You know, and spirit knows. Always believe that. That's where the truth is. That's where you're where you need to go to. Anytime you come across somebody that says, I do have the same thing. Somebody's like, oh, she's fake. And I go, well, that's not true. You know what I mean? I go, yeah. I know better, right? So you can't let them persuade you in something along that lines. The tension that you provide is maybe causing you a little bit of a health problem, maybe neck problems, maybe shoulder, things like that, and your tension. So once you are working through all of this, remembering who you are, those little aches and pains are going to go away. This is also in a spirit position. Now, the final outcome of that is the hard work will set you free. You're going to come back to that one person that, you know, that little child that you remember going, I am free, I know who I am, and you enjoy life again. So the outcome of that is you're going to come back to that place where enjoyment and refresh is going to come around, and then you are known for your hard work again. And the thing about that is, the one thing that came through with me is it may be connected to your money and it may be connected to your work, but you kind of lost a little bit of a reputation of some sort, but it's going to come back. It was slight, and it's not longevity, and not to worry about it. Is any of that making any sense?
A lot of it made a lot of sense. Yeah. Yeah. Especially that, like, let go of that past scary thing. Yeah, I'm about to embark on a transition, and the scariest part for me is the ex-husband who I got away from, thankfully, but, you know, is still in the life because we have 3 kids. And so the change I'm about to make is probably going to really tick him off. This change will probably already be in effect once this episode airs, because we're like a month out now, right? So by the time this airs, most likely I'll have moved out of my current home and into a new home with my partner. And that is really going to tick off my ex-husband, who, you know, just can't handle anything. So so it's scary for me to think of what my kids may experience from, you know, his upset. And no physical danger, but, you know, emotional danger. So that's a big change. And then the rest of it all sounds really good. I have been in this break free from myself mode for the past couple of months, breaking free from my own self-imposed boundaries and limitations. And so that all really resonated.
Fantasy showed up. Yeah, the fantasy showed up about what we think we know and what the truth is.
Yeah, and how to just show up more fully as myself and not worry about reputation and not consider, and just to remember to be guided by spirit and do what I meant to be doing and forget about numbers and forget about, you know, I don't even care about reputation. I just want to do what I do from my heart and I'm always telling John, right? I'm like, I'm not into hard work. I'm into letting it be easy and slow growth.
Yes.
Yeah, which goes against my Capricorn head and my upbringing.
You're Capricorn, because Capricorns are like,
right? So I actually joke, I have to work hard at being easy and relaxed.
Yeah.
And yes, I do have a lot of shoulder tension lately. So
good.
Yeah, that's why we work so well together, Tamara. You're the Capricorn. I'm the type of Gemini who jumps and then says, "Do I have wings?"
Yes.
So many Geminis in my life. I attract the Geminis. My 2 of my siblings, 1 of my kids, my partner, all Geminis. Yeah, and some of my best friends. So
everybody should have a pet Gemini. I mean,
everyone.
I apparently love Geminis.
That's because you have taste. Wow. So this has been amazing. We had 2 different kinds of readings. They're both pretty damn spectacular. You really have shown us the skill and more importantly, the passion for what you do. You can really see how much you love what you do and how much you enjoy what you do. And I think that's a big part of being so clear too, because the actual idea of loving something gets us to experience it more. Yes. So I think that's just beautiful. Wow. So we're running towards the end of this. So how do people find you? What's the best way for them to actually look you up and stuff?
Well, of course, they can find me on YouTube. It's called Celtic Tarot-Sheila. You can find me there, and underneath all of my videos, at least most of my videos, if I remember to put it on there, all of the information on how to get a hold of me or to book an appointment with me. I have a little gin book is what it's called, that you go and do that. It's like, oh my gosh, it's been the best thing ever. Anyways, I diverge. And so you can get a hold of me there. I'm also on TikTok. I'm the Democratic chick, but please know that I do cuss on that one. So and I go tough on the Republicans on that one. So.
Well, whenever you're talking Republicans, you got to cuss. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Equals. Yeah. So just know that if you go on there, it may not be for you, but definitely join me on YouTube, and under my YouTube channels, I also have a Facebook that you can join and have conversations with me as well.
Right. That's beautiful. Tamara, anything else that you'd like to?
Any parting words of wisdom, Sheila? Like, what do you want people to know?
What I want people to know. One of the things, we're not going to lose him, are we?
Just a cough.
I know how that feels. Like he drinks, you go down.
We'll recover.
Are you back now? The one thing that I always wanted to let everybody know, that everything is going to be okay, and there's nothing wrong. And I always make sure that this is the message that I want to send out to everybody, because we all have that panic and this, that, and the other and going on. And I say, if you go right back to source and you take that deep breath and you know who you are and you know where you're at and you know that everything is okay, that everything beyond that is really, truly you're going to walk forward in being okay. If you walk forward in fear, that's what you're going to face. If you walk forward in anything other than just that constant knowing that everything is going to be okay, then you really truly have an opportunity to create your own life and your own vision of what you really, really want out of life. And if you can't get there, book me an appointment. I'll help you out.
There you go.
Beautiful. Well said. Oh, thank you so much, Sheila. Listeners, let us know what you thought of this video. Ask your questions, give us your comments. We love to hear from you. We appreciate you. And go visit Sheila on wherever you like to spend your time, whether it's TikTok or YouTube or Facebook. And let us know what other questions you have and who else you want to see on this channel. We're having a lot of fun with our guests these days, and we want to bring on more that you're interested in learning about. So thank you so much. Thank you, John. Thank you, Sheila. Thank you, listeners. We will speak to you again next week.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us at Spirit Cafe, a place where you can safely explore your spirituality without the guilt or dogma of religion. Leave all comments and suggestions on the Spirit Cafe podcast Facebook page.